The highest is moving to a new heaven. Ruth has to give Laura a bath. Joan is the new drill sergeant. And Lacey is being clothed with the robe of abomination. This is my review, my commentary, my breakdown of Tyler Perry's Ruthless, episode 7, titled, You Have to Play the Game. At first, I thought this was just merely another filler episode, but in the end, it really wasn't. I'm going to tell you what I liked about the episode, what I didn't like, and how this episode ties into what we've already seen. Now let's get started. It picks up where it left off last week with Ruth going to the children's trailer. And of course, we all know now that the trailer is empty. The kids are gone. We found out in this scene also that Bridget is a straight hater. All the women are jealous of Ruth. And here, because of the fact that Bridget wants to be in Ruth's shoes, she's relishing in the fact that because Ruth doesn't really know where the children are, that she can withhold that information from her. And she's a little taken aback that she's about to be the wife of the highest, but she's not abreast as to what's going on or what's really happening on the compound. She wanted to know how Ruth got into the trailer, and then Ruth switched it up on her and she said, you let me in. That's how I got in. Then Bridget said that she and the other ladies had been warned by Elder Mother Supreme not to trust Ruth. So Elder Mother keeps the dissension going, right? She keeping up-ish. My grandmother would call her an ish starter, right? And this will make it hard for Ruth to really get anything done, I'm sure, because no one likes her for real. So she decided not to tell Ruth anything. Then she told her she could just go, be on your merry way. And this brought tears to Ruth's eyes. And when she left the trailer, she ran into none other than Elder Mother herself. And they both want to know why they're each at the children's trailer. And Ruth asked her if she was back there looking for some of Daikon's men. And I'm telling you, Elder Mother has slept with 21 out of the 26 men that are on the compound. She been slanging that season cooch and nobody even knew. She been getting it in for sure. 21 men? I haven't even been with 21 men in my lifetime. And she there on the compound getting it in. I ain't mad at you, Elder Mother. I'm not. So because Ruth is asking everyone about the kids, no one wants to tell her. And that includes Elder Mother. But she did learn that the highest had taken all the children away. Now, Zane made it back to the infirmary to see her good friend Lacey. And Lacey is still getting over the shock that she had been shot. Zane told her that she shouldn't have tried to leave and that she had to learn how to play the game, hence the title of our episode here. She told Lacey to be nice to Elder Mother, get in on her good side, just play the role. So we're finding out that Zane isn't really cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs after all, but she had us all fooled, right? Her shooting Josiah, attempting to kill Daikon, punishing Elder Mother. She said that when she pulled the levers down on Elder Mother in the charge chair, that she was pulling it down for all of them to pay Elder Mother back for all the evil and her wrongdoings that she had towards all of them. She said that all of her off-the-chain reactions were just her quote-unquote playing the game just to make them all like her. She told Lacey that if she could just be a little bit more patient, that she was going to join her in trying to escape. They made a pact to actually leave together, but at the right time. And then Zane left the trailer. So Manny and Lewis are standing outside guarding the gate and decided to have a man-to-man conversation on where they stood in their beliefs. Lewis, of course, had to remind him that they all used to laugh about the Raku, and all the shenanigans that would go on. But Manny is standing firm. He's standing firm on his beliefs in the Raku. He told Lewis that he's got to do right by Zane by marrying her, because if he doesn't, then his maker stick is it's gonna be cursed forever. And Manny is still clueless, and he really doesn't know what it means to be enlightened. So Lewis had to put him on game real quick and told him, look, you may not be too pleased with this enlightenment process. And Manny doesn't believe that the enlightening process is what it is. And Lewis is trying to warn him, but he's not picking up what he's putting down. So anyway, Ruth is standing beside one of them non-working buses, crying, still looking for the kids. kids, and River came by to see, what was going on. And she told him that the highest took the kids. And River was like, well, just make sure the highest tell you where they are. We have our ways of getting information out of the highest, right? But River did show a little bit of concern. A look of concern came across his face, and he told Ruth that he actually heard something in the middle of the night, sounded like a tractor trailer. And he told her not to worry about the kids, right? They got over $1 million coming to the compound, and Ruth told him that she doesn't care anything about that right now. And do y'all remember when River told her, F them kids? He must have forgot that Ruth's child is still there. Like, that's a cruel statement to say regarding kids anyway, right? Especially if one of those kids are your own. And Ruth thinks that the highest has hurt the kids, but River assured her that the highest sees the kids as their body armor, and he wouldn't do anything to hurt them. Ruth wants to go and question the men to see if they know anything about where the kids are, but River told her that if she did that, then she's going to make herself look suspicious. So they decided that he's going to inquire with the men to see if he can find out any more information about where these kids are. The three musketeers made it back from the bank, and the highest told Joan to bring Aaron back on inside the gate. So when she got out, she had to have a little talk with Aaron. She told him that the fact that he bought a cell phone to the compound made her look bad. She told him, yeah, I'm going to bring you back inside, but you have to be on your best behavior. She told him to brace himself, though, for what he may see going on with Laura. She told him that Laura may be in love with the highest by now, and Aaron said, well, maybe I can fall in love with him too. And she asked him, if his heart was open to it. And when I say open to it, I mean just what I said, open. And Aaron said, yeah, I'll be open to whatever and whenever. And he's telling her all the things that she needs to hear just to get back on the other side of the gate so that he can be with his trifling wife. She ain't stunned Aaron. She trying to be with the highest, period. River greeted his daddy and brother as they came home from work. As they came home from the bank, River be acting like a whole kid when he see the highest come back to the compound. He want to help with the money bags and hating his daikon. Told him, look, don't worry about it. I got it. And the highest is a little bit bothered by the fact that Daikon is so bitter towards his baby brother. And he told River that he gave Daikon the opportunity to not keep things from him any longer. And he thought that he had it all squashed. But Daikon's still hating on River, and the highest is paying attention to it. And here again, he gave Daikon another opportunity to tell him everything that was going on the compound and why he's still hating on baby boy River. And Daikon still failed to tell him that he caught River at the safe last season. So Daikon is still withholding a lot of information from him, even after his wrist has been slit and after his head is still racing from the chopping block 2 episodes ago. He hasn't learned his lesson at all. So they move into the highest bedroom, and he told Daikon to go and grab the money counter, and then he told River to open the bag. And River was like a kid in a candy store. His eyes lit up like a Christmas tree. He told River that they only got like a couple more trips to the bank, and then he's gonna move to a new heaven. And if you guys remember, he spoke about this at the compound barbecue. Remember when he announced that he and Ruth were about to be married? River in the highest was so elated with all the money in the bag that Daikon had remind him about that little package that he left in the back room. Laura. Yeah, he told River to go out and get Ruth, to give her a bath, and have Elder Mother make her a special Waffle House plate. For after the ritual, we got to make sure that it's the post-ritual plate to be sure that they keep her zooted out of her mind while she's still there on the compound, keeping her as doped up as possible. And in the meantime, Joan is outside telling Ruth that she's been putting the pressure on the highest to go and drain all the money out of the bank accounts before the cartel figures out that Lilo is in a ditch somewhere with his head chopped off. And Ruth seems unimpressed at this point because her child is MIA, and that's what's on the forefront of her mind right now. Like, she's not really concerned about the money at this point. And by now, River has joined the conversation to let Ruth know that the highest wanted to see her. And immediately she thinks that he wants to see her because Elder Mother went running her mouth about her being at the children's trailer. But River assured her that it's not that, it's not what you think it is. And Ruth told him that we have to keep Elder Mother away from the highest. And Ruth is still expressing the fact that she doesn't trust Joan or River. And she told Joan that if she wants to gain her trust back, that she'll have to figure out a way to get her out of having to explain herself to the highest in the event that Elder Mother starts talking. When River and Ruth walked away, she saw Manny passing by, and she pulled the favor card, right? She instructed him to get within earshot of Ruth when he speaks to Elder Mother to tell her that he's been waiting for her at her trailer, right? And this way, it puts the heat back on Elder Mother about sleeping with the men so that she won't have to worry about her telling the highest that Ruth went to the kids' trailer. Now, before she let Manny walk off, she made sure to tell him that she's going to return the favor. So Joan probably be getting a freak on, like on the low, right? Remember, Ruth already told her that she's a freak, and she knows it. And I wonder how she knows this, because she said it so matter-of-factly, right? Daikon is still expressing that he doesn't trust River, and he's telling him it's not such a good idea, right, to let River know where all the money is. And the highest told him to chill out, let me rule the compound and don't worry about it. And when Ruth got there, he told her what to do with Laura. He said to bathe her real good and to shove more hallucinogens down her throat. Make sure she gets one of Elder Mother's post-ritual plates. And Joan was absolutely right when she said that Laura was going to be already in love with the highest, because that's how Laura's talking about, feeling good and seeing the highest again. She gone, y'all. They got her. Aaron is sitting under the gazebo, and he saw Ruth taking Laura to the shower to get her cat cleaned. And he jumped up to go and see her, and Joan was there, right there to stop him. She came out of nowhere like a thief in the night, right? And she was grilling Aaron like a drill sergeant, telling him to watch his steps and that he'd better be a good guest of hers and to stay away from his wife. Joan has completely flipped to the other side, and she is slick possessed, like she's walking around possessed and obsessed, period. So they're sitting in the room counting up all the millions, right? And the highest is giving all of his attention to River. Daikon can't stand it. Look at him. He can't stand River's little short, right? Now, the highest is in such a good mood, like he wants to go ahead and, get indulged in some more of the magic. And this concerned Daikon, because Daikon told him, look, I don't know who this supplier is, so let me check it out first, and, if it does good on me, then I'll give it to you. And just judging from what happened the last time, they had to revive him back from the dead, literally. But the highest doesn't care. He wants the magic, and he wants it now. And after Daikon told him that he was going to test it on himself first, the highest didn't seem impressed at all by the fact that Daikon wanted to risk his life for him. So they went back and forth, and at first he was hinting at testing it out on River, and River was like, Trigger, what? But they decided to give it to Malcolm instead, since he's already fiending away for it, right? In that charge chair. Might as well go and light him up. Laura is now in the shower, right? And back in previous seasons, Ruth used to have to actually bathe and wash her Raku sisters, right? Remember when she would have to bathe Dirty Melinda in that big that big old wash tub? Now looks like they can stand on their own in the shower, and bathe themselves. So I'm sure that's a relief on Ruth, right? And they make sure that they remember that we're watching BET Plus. They gotta throw in a nut and a titty in every episode. Oh my goodness. Elder Mother came by and let Ruth know that the highest was back and that she plans on going by the trailer to tell Ruth's little secret, but Ruth told her that the highest instructed her to fix Laura a plate. So all of that's going to have to wait. And while all this is happening, Manny came by to put his play into motion that Joan told him to do, and Elder Mother told him right away that he was lying on her, but not without Ruth making sure that she's now 1 point ahead on their I'm going to tell the highest on you game that they all seem to love to play. Joan strolled by to gloat, to let Ruth know that Manny coming by was her idea. And in every scene, Joan is slick letting us know that she knows secrets and that she can pull the you owe me a favor card whenever she likes. In the next scene, we see Andrew, Lynn, and Brian, and he's saying goodbye to them for the last time. I wonder if this is the same lake that he put Deputy Polk in after Melinda stabbed him with that carving knife. He put a stick on the accelerator, and into the lake they went. He called Daikon to let him know that Brian and Lynn were staged at the house, like he promised. Daikon mentioned the deputy, and then he wanted to know why Andrew didn't just kill her. Andrew was like, look, man, we've got enough dead bodies, and I'm not really too concerned about her IDing me. He told him that it's not really going to be a problem like he thinks it is. Daikon said that he wanted proof that he staged the bodies like he planned, and Andrew told him that he's not really getting any coverage, any service on his phone to send the photo. So Daikon was like, oh, that's okay, I'll just check online. And surely if an FBI agent and his wife are found dead in a murder-suicide in their home, that it will at least, get some coverage on the 6 o'clock news. And that's at the very least, right? Then Andrew told him that he can't get back on the road right now because he's hot and the government's going to be looking for him. So we see he's buying more time, guys, right? Then he told Daikon that he'll call him later with the details on his return. He did tell him that he'll get rid of the car, that he had to, and that he'll explain everything to the highest when he got back. And this is leaving us with a lot of wiggle room for Andrew. I'm sure that this is where the plot is going to twist. This is where things definitely going to turn around. Then in our final scene, we have Elder Mother and Sadie. Oh no, it's not Sadie, it's Lacey. And Lacey is learning how to play the game, people. She's taking her good friend Zane's advice and kissing up to Elder Mother with the good lipstick on. And she's laying it on thick. She's apologetic and telling Elder Mother all the right things. So Elder Mother's concerned with getting Lacey back into the highest good graces, right? And Lacey said she'll do anything. So she presented Lacey with the red robe of abomination. And the red robe is basically a communication piece, right? It alerts people not to talk to you, nor are they to help you in any way, ever. Like, she's cursed. She's cursed her, for sure. And that's not all. She further said, to make the highest even happier, that Lacey is to be seated every single day by Daikon's men. Every day. She has to have 7 babies over a period of the next 6 years, to have children raised in the Raku way. Then and only then, after that, she can rejoin them. I'm done. I'm totally done, y'all. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Oh, wait, I forgot to tell y'all that before she turned to walk out, she noticed the water glass on the shelf. And she's got eyes like a hawk. And of course, Zane left it before she left out. She wanted to know how it got there. All right, so what I like most about this episode is that Zane discovered that Lacey was still alive. And not only did Ruth give her the opportunity to see her, but to also talk to her, it showed that Ruth isn't so ruthless after all. She has a heart, right? I mean, she knows and values the true meaning of friendship. And I'm sure that she misses Tally too, like nobody's business. So she understands that friendship needs to be appreciated, right? And nurtured. And not only is Ruth concerned about Callie and rescuing her, she also wants to rescue Tavia, which is Tally's daughter. So I like how Zane got a chance to tell Lacey everything, like that she had been through since she jumped in the truck when they were all inside the kitchen. In that short amount of time, she forced Lacey to just listen to her, right? And she got a chance to get it out and let her know that she really wasn't crazy at all. Zane even talked about how much she missed her friends to Laura. She told her how much she missed Lacey and Paula. So now all that pain of them being gone has dissipated. And at the very end of this scene, they made a pact, and she told Lacey that she was now ready to leave the compound, and that when Lacey was ready to make moves like that again, that she'll be ready and they can make them together. So I really enjoyed the humanization direction of this scene. It kind of put everything back into perspective for us. And now I'm going to talk about what I didn't like. I didn't like how dumb they have Manny looking. They've made him Oliver all over again. Manny is the clueless blonde gatekeeper right now, who's oblivious to the ways of the Raku. And I just think that Manny deserves to live in his own skin, right? Through his own character. He deserves to develop an avatar that he can breathe life into, instead of the Oliver character via the ignorance that they now both share. And this episode, in relation to others, it's like I said initially, I thought that it was just another plot builder with not much happening, but I think Andrew was the real hero here. He was able to successfully buy more time with Daikon, which gives the plot an opportunity to head in another direction. So yeah, those are my 2 cents on episode 7. Now, if you're a fan of Tyler Perry's Ruthless, go ahead and sub to this channel for more videos just like this one. Thank you so much for joining me today, you guys, and I'm going to see you on the next one.